How you doing out there? How you doing? I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking over there. What time? We're doing all right. I'm a few minutes late. Sorry. This is the Frankie Russo pre-show, number 137. How you all doing? I'm gonna kick to the thing. We gotta help America's team. Help the men and women of the United States Armed Forces fight post-traumatic stress disorder. We gotta do this. Okay? Fundraising is slow, but we ain't stopping. Okay? F Russo, FRUSSO 14 at AOL.com. Send me an email. Let's do this. Help America's team help the men and women of the United States Armed Forces fight post-traumatic stress disorder. That's what I'm talking about. We got to help them. They're talking about 22 suicides a day. This is insane. We got to help these people. The men and women of the United States Armed Forces, we got to help them. And I'm going to start. We're going to go quickly through this. They're going to kick to some articles. I got a lot I want to go through, so we got the fraudulent. This is the selective service registration card, right? Obama. Sheriff Joe and the cold case posse, right? And then we got the Clinton Foundation. Memorandum of Understanding, right? Signed by Valerie Jarrett and the executive director of the Clinton Foundation to the Iranian Global Terror Network. Right? And then we got the Iranian terror surrogates. The IRGC, Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, Quds Force, General Soleimani, Syria, Assad. Remember, Washington Free Beacon, Congressional Research Service, Adam Credo, 3 to 15 billion annually goes from Iran to Syria. Don't forget that. And then we got CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations, that's the Holy Land Foundation Trial. NAIT, National American Islamic Trust, the Holy Land Foundation Trial. ISNA, Islamic Society of North America, all unindicted co-conspirators in the biggest money laundering scheme for terrorist nation's history. The Holy Land Foundation Trial. Right out of the Blind Sheikh's Mosque with Muhammad al-Nuni and Musa Abu Marzouk. Okay? And then from there, we got the Alevi Foundation, we got Assa Corporation, and Bank Melli of Iran. Deemed United States Treasury as a proliferator of weapons of mass destruction. Same with the Assa Corporation, was deemed by the U.S. Treasury as a terrorist entity. Then we got the part of the Iranian Global Terror Network. We got ISIS Iran. Now I'm going to talk about this in a minute. I didn't finish my blog because I'm still tweaking it. I'm tweaking it. I haven't decided because I found some articles that I thought were pretty interesting. Because I'm trying to say that ISIS is not a Sunni militia. It could be can it be argued that ISIS isn't a Sunni militia, but actually ISIS is a Sunni Shia militia. So that's my my premise. Hezbollah, Iran, Hamas, Iran, Afghan Taliban, Iran, AQ, Al Qaeda, Iran, ISIS, Iran. That's the nexus. That's part of the Iranian Global Terror Network. And then we have the Blind Sheikh's Mosque. right? Mike Sheikh's Mosque. That's Al Farouk Mosque, Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn. And then we have the five Quds Force leaders released in Erbil, Iraq. And then we got the Bergdahl trade. Bergdahl trade for five Afghan Taliban. And we know Qatar with the $5 billion, according on O'Reilly show, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Schaefer, right? And then we have Al Numani and ISIS and Yassin al-Suri. Al Numani is a Qatari national, and he was designated United States Treasury Department as a terrorist financier. Congressman Lamborn wrote a seething letter to John Kerry, claiming, "Why are we sending money to Qatar? Qatar is a safe haven for terrorists. We have a $11 billion weapons deal with Qatar. Crazy stuff." Now, Palestinian Authority, Hamas. We sent, 88 senators. Why are we sending money over there? Obama, Hillary Clinton. How do we know that the Hamas, the Palestinian branch of Muslim Brotherhood, nctc.gov website, terrorist entity, how do we know they're not taking the money that we're giving them, United States taxpayers' dollars, and using it for terror? Well, Obama, Clinton waived the federal statutes and authorized it. Went around the United States Senate. And then we got Egypt with Muslim Brotherhood, Morsi. And we know what happened there. It was a Washington Post article, espionage. The Islamic Republic of Iran cahoodling with the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, and Morsi Sisi did a coup d'etat, took him out, and we know who supported Morsi. The Obama Clinton administration. They threw up Mubarak, and they put Morsi in there. Sisi did a coup d'etat, and Hillary Clinton's meeting with Sisi now, and nobody calls her out. What did you tell Sisi when you met him? Sorry, I endorsed the wrong person. Come on, give me a break. People don't want to speak the truth, right? Syria. Assad, Quds Force, General Soleimani. We sent hundreds of millions of dollars to Iran, to Syria. It's really Iran, right? It's really Iran anyway. 3 to 15 billion go from Iran to Syria anyway. So it's really Iran. And we sent, I don't know how much exactly we sent to Syria to train the Syrian rebels. The published reports is half a billion. Let's say hundreds of millions, tens of millions of dollars. They got all the weapons over there. They had, according to the CENTCOM over there, they had 32 Syrian rebels. It was down to 8 or 9. They ended up giving the weapons to ISIS. Crazy stuff, right? And then Benghazi, Libya, cover up. And that's the Quds Force, General Soleimani, and we had, so here's the model, right? So this is where I'm at with this whole thing. I got this fraudulent sector service card, Obama, statistically significant, Clinton Foundation, we know we're down over there, Inspector General's report, illegal, unapproved State Department server in the basement of Hillary Clinton's house. And then we got the Clinton Foundation, which is a debacle in itself. The Iranian Global Terror Network, the Iranian terror surrogates. We got the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, Quds Force, General Soleimani, Syria, Assad, CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations, North American Islamic Trust, ISNA, Islamic Society of North America, all unindicted co-conspirators of the biggest money laundering scheme for terror in this nation's history, the Holy Land Foundation trial. And then we got Alevi Foundation, that's the corporation of Bank of Iran, that's part of the Iranian terror triad, owners of the 650 Fifth Avenue case, where Preet Bharara and the judge Catherine Forrest ruled that the Islamic Republic of Iran, through Assa Corporation, Bank Melli of Iran, and the Levy Foundation, were funneling millions of dollars to the weapons of mass destruction. So they lost that. That building was originally owned by the Shah of Iran. He was in exile. The mullahs took it over. The building was seized by the United States government and eventually forfeited. Okay, and then we got these. Then we get the bomber timeline. The 5 Iranian Quds Force leaders. The blind sheik, which shows the $1.4 million going from the Levy Foundation, Iranian terror surrogate, to the blind sheik. Blind sheik's Muslim Brotherhood, Sunni. Islamic Republic of Iran, Shia. Sunni Shia. Totally obliterates the Sunni Shia divide, the Iranian global terror network. Then you got the 5 Quds Force leaders that were released back, thrown back into the field, human assets. The Bergdahl trade, we talked about this with Herula, the governor from the Herat province in Afghanistan, was sent to Qatar with $5 billion, and then we found out that al-Numani, just for an example, a Qatari national, gave $1 to $2 million to Al-Qaeda in Iraq, ISIS, for an indefinite period of time, and he also gave Yassin al-Suri, the Al-Qaeda Iran facilitator that lives in Iran, in the Iranian city of Sahad, which was started by Herula, one of the 5 Afghan Taliban, in the Bergdahl trade. Then you got the PA, the Palestinian Authority, Hamas. Iran's on the other end, according to Washington Free Beacon, Adam Credo, Congressional Records Service, $3 to $15 billion, right? Goes to, tens of millions of dollars from Iran goes to Hamas and rockets, and they dropped between 5 to 10,000 rockets on Israel since 2005. And we're sending hundreds of millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, whatever, to Palestinian Authority, Hamas. And they had 88 senators wrote a letter to the Obama-Clinton administration. Why are we doing this? How do we know that these terrorists are not taking the money that we're sending them and using it for terror? Obviously, they are. And then we had this is really where it all starts, Egypt. Morsi worked out the Islamic Republic of Iran was colluding with Egypt's Muslim Brotherhood, and the Egyptian prosecutor tried Morsi for treason. They said 1.5 billion. Well, Morsi wasn't in that long, so let's say he got millions, and let's say we're supposed to send 20 jet fighters, so we sent them 1 or 2. We sent them something. Crazy stuff, right? And then we got the Syrian rebels. We're trying to arm the Syrian rebels. We sent them $500 million. We sent them tens of millions, and they ended up with 32 Syrian rebels down to 8 or 9. And eventually, they gave their weapons to ISIS. It's ridiculous. On the other end was the Quds Force, General Soleimani over there, $3 to $15 billion annually from Iran to Syria. So Syria fronts for Iran. And then we have the Benghazi cover-up with the Quds Force, General Soleimani. That's with Claire Lopez and Kenneth Tillman's Dark Forces, The Truth About Benghazi. So this is the basic model with the Obama timeline. And I believe it's statistically significant that the Obama-Clinton administration is in all likelihood, in all probability, is a criminal enterprise in the court of American public opinion. And then we have, if the Obama-Clinton administration is a criminal enterprise, then we could say in all likelihood, in all probability, the Obama-Clinton crime family is materially supporting radicalismists. They are radicalismists. They are Ayman al-Zawahiri, the leader of Al-Qaeda. They are Abu Yahya al-Libi from the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group. They are Mustafa Abdul Jalal. They are Abdel Hakim Belhaj from the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group that was part of the Operation Zero Footprint that performed the coup d'etat, the fake or real coup d'etat on Gaddafi. And that was the beginning of the debacle of Benghazi. So, this Obama-Clinton administration, they are radical Islamists. Now, what I found was, last week we talked about it, and I'm going to get to some articles now in a few minutes. I just want to briefly go over where I'm at right now with the These are some articles with the, so we got, for example, so we got the Sunni Shia militia, right? So we know that Al Qaeda in Iraq is a Sunni militia. And for example, Abu Musab Zaquari was the first leader of Al Qaeda in Iraq, ISIS. When we threw out Saddam Hussein, the vacuum was created. ISIS came into power, and a lot of the regime from Saddam Hussein formed ISIS. So we took our we withdrew from there, and ISIS formed. Now, my blog, which I haven't done yet, I'm almost done. I just want to tweak it more because I found this article, and I'm going to talk about it now a little bit because I'm still. The U.S. Treasury links Iranian oil to elite military. Apparently, the Treasury Department submitted a report to Congress determining that the National Iranian Oil Company is an agent or affiliate of the Revolutionary Guard Corps, right? Why am I bringing this up? The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps is Iran's most powerful economic actor, dominating many sectors of the economy, including energy, construction, and banking. The IRGC, long a target of U.S. sanctions, has a history of attempting to circumvent sanctions by maintaining a complex network of front companies. The IRGC and certain IRGC related entities and individuals have been sanctioned for activities related to Iran's nuclear program, support for terrorism, commission of serious human rights abuses, and most recently for activities related to human rights abuses in Syria. Who fronts for Iran? We know that. Now, just to give everybody, to catch everybody up to speed, right? I had the Sunni Shia nexus. In other words, within the Iranian global terror network, the Iranian terror surrogates, we have like we have ISIS Iran, which I'm right now I'm trying to with statistical significance, I'm trying to see if I can say that with some statistical significance right now. I'm close. I'm getting there. I got I got a Afghan Taliban in Iran. There's an office in the Iranian city of Sahadan. So that's there. So that's statistically significant. Long War Journal, Thomas Jocelyn. We got the Hamas Iran connection, and that's Washington Free Beacon. Adam Credo, Congressional Research Service. Iran sends tens of millions of dollars to Hamas on the Gaza Strip and rockets to drop on Israel. That's a fact. And the Afghan Taliban, I saw numerous articles, open source, well researched articles, for example, the Wall Street Journal. Iran gives the Afghan Taliban weapons and money. They give them a salary to fight. So that's a Sunni militia being materially supported by a Shia militia. The Islamic Republic of Iran, the world's largest state sponsor of terror. So that's one aspect. And then I had these articles, the one article from the Washington Post, no, from the Weekly Standard, Lee Smith. I just got to find it, and he talks about this connection. Lee Smith, the Iran regional hegemony. I spoke about it last week. The Jerusalem Post, I think it was, and I have the Thomas Jocelyn talks about in his article the ISIS, the right, the ISIS, the Al Qaeda, because ISIS is an Al Qaeda affiliate, right? Basically, it's Al Qaeda in Iraq. So, and he talks about how the United States Treasury Department had sanctioned numerous Al Qaeda affiliates that live in Iran. So to show the connection with Iran and Al Qaeda affiliates. Because basically ISIS is a conglomerate of other Al Qaeda affiliates throughout the region. Sunni militia, maybe. I'm saying this, they're claiming mainstream media claims it's a Sunni militia. I'm claiming conceivably. I'm trying to see if I can prove it with some statistical significance. Obviously, outside looking in, I got my disclaimer out there that ISIS is a Sunni Shia militia. Now, if there's statistical significance that ISIS is a Sunni Shia militia, who's the Shia aspect of it? Iran. So that flips this whole script. So just to give you an idea, now I'm trying to find, and I said this, the United States Treasury links Iranian oil to the military. So I'm trying to say, where's the oil? Because ISIS is affiliated, they say ISIS gets the oil. ISIS is affiliated with selling oil. Oil production and smuggling, and ISIL, why ISIS oil revenue is plunging. And then you got here the Syrian oil map, the journey of a barrel of ISIS oil. Financial Times, right? Claiming, this is what they claim. ISIS controls most of Syria's oil fields and crude is the militant group's biggest single source of revenue. Who's ISIS? ISIS' main oil producing region is in Syria's eastern Deir ez-Zor province, where production was somewhere between 34,000 and 40,000 barrels a day in October of last year. So I, I don't know. Like, it is difficult to determine a definitive oil production figure for ISIS-controlled areas. Now, honestly, right? Syria, according to this article, the Financial Times, ISIS is involved in the production of oil. ISIS main oil producing region is in Syria. Right? Iran gives 3 to 15 billion to Syria. And the area that they control is near Mosul. I, this is really, really like, and I looked at this documentary. I'm going to get to some articles now, so I'm still going back and forth. But I'm gonna blog it this week, and then we'll be able to fully go over it because I'm like up and down with this thing because I just can't believe, honestly, that knowing what we know, this Sunni Shia connection within the Iranian global terror network, the Iranian terror surrogates, that's pretty much substantiated. And then plus a few articles adds to the fact that apparently Syria was involved in forming ISIS, which is the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. And I don't know. I believe we're close, and I'm going to lay the blog out this week, that we're going to be able to say with some statistical significance that at the least Iran is materially supporting ISIS, I think. I think we might be able to say that. I'm not sure yet, but I think we're getting close to be able to say. I just need some more data to get. I need to get closer with the oil thing because this is a source of revenue, and the money is what connects the whole thing. Money is what the material supporting of. Money is what connects it, and we do have according to Thomas Jocelyn, the Ministry of Intelligence, Iranian Ministry of Intelligence, giving money to ISIS, to Al Qaeda in Iraq. So we got that. Now Syria, you know, I think we're close here because it behooves Iran to have a Sunni militia that they can control. The Iranian-Iraq war, according to the Jerusalem article, the Iran-Iraq war really and now that Iran's got their mojo going on because of the Obama-Clinton administration, they're not going to allow a Sunni militia to go rogue in the region. They're going to have their hand in it in some way. And I believe that we're coming up with a pretty statistically significant argument to support the contention that Iran is materially supporting ISIS at the least. And it's really interesting because when you read this, I got this thing, the counterextremism.com Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps threat report. It's a PDF, right? It's interesting. And what's interesting about it, here, this data is from 2013, 2014. as a government group, just to give you an idea, as a government group, the Iranian, this, I'm reading right from the article, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. This is the major leagues, according to Kenneth Tillman, Dark Forces: The Truth About Benghazi. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps enjoyed a budget of approximately 1.7 billion for the year 2013-2014. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps is Iran's most powerful economic actor, according to the U.S. Treasury Department, which labeled the National Iranian Oil Company an agent or affiliate of the Revolutionary Guards. That's what that article I was reading. The Treasury links Iranian uh, oil, the National Iranian Oil Company, to the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. Within the IRGC, the Quds Force, which is special forces, exerts control over strategic industries, commercial services, and black market enterprises. According to a 2007 Los Angeles Times report, the IRGC has ties to over 100 companies controlling over $12 billion. Man, global terrorism is a multi-billion-dollar business, right? These funds are used to exert influence in Iran and Iranian proxies. According to the Council on Foreign Relations, the IRGC is heavily involved in everything from pharmaceuticals to telecommunications and pipelines, even the new Khomeini airport, and a great deal of smuggling. So that's how they got around the centrifuges. That's how they got around the sanctions that's how the centrifuges went up, while they weren't an OPEC. Before Obama got in, we had all these sanctions going on. Many of the front companies engaged in procuring nuclear technology are owned and run by the Revolutionary Guard Corps and developing along the lines of the Chinese military, which is involved in many business enterprises. It's a huge business conglomeration. So this is a very sophisticated setup, truth be told. So I think conceivably, ISIS, this is, I'm not there yet, but I'll be there by this week. I'm going to blog this. ISIS may be Iran, in a lot of instances, like Syria. The way Iran fronts for Syria, the way Syria fronts for Iran, ISIS could be fronted for Iran. Very close, I think. I looked at this. I mean, obviously, I'm outside looking in. I didn't go over there. I haven't actually seen it. I was watching this documentary called "Fighting ISIS" by. It was on Showtime, and it had actual footage. And this guy Brian Anderson from the BBC was on it, and he was right in there. So outside looking in, Bomb is right. ISIS is a JV team. He's a propagandizer for Iran. He's right, and Kenneth Tillman confirms it. That like Ansar al-Sharia, which everybody was saying was the Al-Qaeda affiliate that did the hit on Benghazi, that wasn't the case. Ansar al-Sharia is the JV team, according to Kenneth Tillman. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, Quds Force, General Soleimani, Hezbollah. That's the major leagues. So I think next week we're going to be able to pop this thing, and we're close. So with that being said, I want to move to some articles. So, by the way, Frankie Russo is going to be at the Brooklyn South Conservative Club, October 26th. That's in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, 7 p.m. The Leaf Bar, 6725 Fifth Avenue. I'm going to be speaking there, my first speaking engagement this year. I'm all excited about it. I want to thank Liam McCabe and Jerry Kassar for inviting me. I'm very excited about it. That being said, I'm going to kick to some articles now. Busy week for U.S. drones. Now this is what I'm talking about. Now, Lee Smith in the Weekly Standard talked about this. Hezbollah, the U.S. drones providing intelligence for Hezbollah. So anybody who doesn't know, Hezbollah is the Shia terrorism arm of Iran. nctc.gov. Check it out. Another pair of bedfellows have turned up in the most critical Middle East battlefields. The United States is helping Hezbollah, Iran's Lebanese surrogate, in the battle for the control of the strategic Qualman Mountains. Intelligence sources disclosed that a special U.S. operations unit stationed at the Hamat Air Base on the coast of northern Lebanon is directing unarmed Aerosonde Mk 4.7 reconnaissance. I get that right? I think so. It's late at night. Reconnaissance drone intelligence gathering flights over the Qualman Mount arena. So we are providing intelligence to Hezbollah. Amazing. Here's another one I found. Hillary emails, intelligence reports said Hezbollah has a base in Cuba. A private intelligence report from Hillary Clinton's confidant, Sid Blumenthal, claimed, this is Breitbart News, the Iran-backed terrorist organization had set up shop in Cuba, according to an email released by the State Department over the weekend. The group was actively casing facilities related to U.S. interests, the intelligence report. The dispatch read, during the week of September 11th, 2011, extremely sensitive sources reported in confidence that the Israeli Intelligence Security Service, Mossad, has informed the leadership of the Israeli government that Hezbollah is establishing an operational base in Cuba. These sources believe that Hezbollah supporters have been instructed to also begin casing facilities associated with the United States and the UK, including diplomatic missions, major banks, and businesses in the region. These individuals believe that Hezbollah military commanders in Lebanon and Syria view these US and UK entities as contingency targets to be attacked in the event of the US UK military intervention in either Syria or Iran. Breitbart News reported extensively on Hezbollah's encroachment into the Western Hemisphere. It's off the hook. Between Argentina, Brazil, and Peru. They have a political party in Peru. Brazil, they have a presence. In Argentina, they have a presence. They go where all the social unrest is. They've actually imported 30 Black Lives Matter members to a symposium in Iran on police brutality in the United States. They're stoking the flames, for the sake of a better term. Obama used a fictitious name, maybe Barry Soetoro, Barry Sabakwa, to talk with Hillary on her private server. How convenient. And nobody broaches our dishonest press. President Obama used an undisclosed fictitious name to communicate with then Secretary Hillary Clinton on the State Department server in the basement of her house, shocking her top aide Huma Abedin when she learned of it. How is that not classified? Huma Abedin exclaimed to investigators when shown a copy of the 2012 exchange between Clinton and Obama, according to a trove of 189 pages of FBI documents dumped a few Fridays ago. After learning that the president used email with a fictitious name apparently to try to protect his identity, Abedin asked her interrogators if she could keep a copy of the email. Crazy stuff. We got burqas now. Amazon pulls sexy burqa party outfit after massive backlash. You know what drives me crazy on this thing? I was reading this, and someone claims this is ridiculous. Dressing up like other cultures for the alleged purpose of having fun is not okay, especially when in a lot of cases people who buy and wear costumes like this, the sexy burqas, do it solely as a way to make fun of the culture, not as a form of appreciation. Stop cultural appropriation. This is ridiculous. I mean, I'm sick of the PC environment. Aren't you? Hillary and Huma Abedin celebrate 20th professional anniversary. How interesting. You know, quite frankly, I could care less. whether they're involved in a major relationship. So what? Who cares? Why bring that up? But I just find it tremendous food for fodder. Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin have marked a relationship milestone, according to the Washington Post. They've been together for 20 years. Few people know this, but Huma Abedin and Hillary Clinton celebrate their professional anniversary in September. It's been 20 years since the two first started working side by side. And in the Weena documentary, it came out that Hillary Clinton told Huma Abedin it's either her or Weena. She chose Hillary. Can't make this stuff up. Non-citizens voting in Virginia. I got this other article here, which a listener brought up. A non-citizens voting in Virginia. Study conducted the Public Interest Legal Foundation showed that in the key swing state of Virginia, voter registration rolls have been tainted with the presence of at least 1,000 non-citizens. Amazing. Why am I not shocked? And then last week, a listener called up tens of thousands of fraudulent Clinton votes found in Ohio warehouse. Election officials in Franklin County, Ohio, are reportedly stumped over what one maintenance worker found in a downtown Columbus warehouse. According to sources, he was doing a routine check of his company, wiring electrical systems, when he stumbled across approximately 12 black sealed ballot boxes filled with thousands of Franklin County votes for Hillary and other Democratic candidates. Can't make this stuff up. Just can't. Right? And that's interesting. And let's see what else we got going on. Illegal voting, illegal foreign voting, and we talked about this. Sorrowback, we talked about that one. That's a Breitbart article. I want to pick that one up. Illegal foreign voting in Virginia covered by Soros-backed Democratic officials. Here's an interesting one. Politico's reporting. I don't want to go. Politico's good. I'm going to go to the Breitbart one. Okay. Breitbart News. Obama's deputies drop criminal charges against Hillary Clinton-linked arms dealer in Libya. President Obama's Department of Justice has dropped charges against a man who sold weapons which he claimed was supposed to arm the rebels in Libya during Hillary Clinton's aggressive intervention in that volatile Middle Eastern country. Arms dealer Mark Crewley, lawyers, signed a deal to avoid an illegal arms dealing trial, which could have further blown the lid off the U.S. government's alleged weapons running operation. Many of the weapons experts say were diverted to jihadist insurgents in the Middle East during the so-called Arab Spring uprisings. So why am I not shocked? They dropped the charges. We're not shocked on that, as the DOD did with the FBI. So we got that one. We got the memorandum of understanding between the Clinton Foundation and the Obama-Clinton administration. So I think that's pretty much it today. I think we got a few articles here. And just for the record, I think we did pretty good. Yeah, we're doing all right with the time element. I wanted to go through, last week I raised the omnibus bill creates $1 billion fund for victims of terrorism. And I, outside looking in, this was created in the last Obama omnibus bill in December of last year. Just for the record, now, I have no problem taxpayers' dollars. It's $1 billion taxpayers' money. Iran, they got hit with a $43 billion bill on restitution money, and they refused to pay it. And we're getting whacked by these terrorists. We're giving them money, we're giving them weapons, we're giving them human assets. The Obama-Clinton crime family is fronting statistically significant fronting for radical Islamists, and then we start a fund that we take a U.S. taxpayers' money. Why aren't these world state sponsors of terror, these state sponsors of terror like Iran, Syria, and North Korea, why aren't they kicking into the kitty? And by the way, this compensation fund, a non-U.S. citizen could actually garner compensation from it. I forgot to mention that last week. Is that crazy stuff? You just can't make this stuff up, you know. And for the record, as well, Hillary Clinton claims that Donald Trump, he's not fit for the office. How could he handle the codes, the nuclear codes? Well, quite frankly, Hillary Clinton has a State Department server. She acted in the capacity of Secretary of State in the basement of her house, giving conceivably classified documents, the nuclear codes, to people who haven't garnered security clearance. So, are you kidding me? How does that equate to Donald Trump or some of the things that they take his statements out of context, or maybe statements he said 11 years ago, like this other stuff that's come out, or maybe some of these broadcasters may be going back to where, like, when he was in the fifth grade, and he hit on it on a little girl. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Donald Trump has no public record. He was a businessman. He's never held public office before. So they're conjuring up a public record. They're making it up. Very dishonest, mainstream media. Very dishonest. And these people get paid the big bucks too. Very dishonest. But anyway, I'm gonna kick out of here now. I'm gonna get ready for the show. I think we have some interesting articles. This is the Frankie Russo show. Frankie Russo pre-show. Remember, we got to help America's team help the men and women of the United States Armed Forces fight post-traumatic stress disorder. frusso14@aol.com. Send me an email. Okay? Facebook, Frankie Russo 443 is my profile page, and Twitter is Frankie Russo 1. This is the Frankie Russo pre-show 137. Yeah. I'll see you in a few. We're going live in about 40 minutes. Yeah.